As previous sections of this toolkit have shown, we now understand why density is important for meeting regional goals, regional and community goals, and we've got some common definitions for what density is and what it looks like. This section is going to talk about how good design can help realize the full range of benefits that density can provide to neighborhoods. Appropriate density is a balancing act between sometimes competing interests and multiple stakeholders involved in land use decisions. The right density for any community is really not for the Transportation Planning Board to prescribe, but to encourage density that helps meet regional and local goals. And to do that, the design of that density is really critical. There are many elements that translate good design into high-quality, livable density. Density alone will not result in these conditions, but careful design can magnify the benefits of density. These design outcomes contribute to people's comfort. The following slides outline some of the characteristics needed to create these outcomes. All of these elements are going to be important, but site by site, some of them may be easier to achieve than others. Again, even when it comes to design, there's no one-size-fits-all solution that's going to be right for for all places. Public spaces on streets and in plazas need to be inclusive and provide ample amenities such as seating or landscaping. Public art can help provide important community identity. Often, public art can be made into something useful, such as the railing design in the plaza on the left, or in elements within the open space on the right. Public art is most effective when it can be integrated into designs early on, rather than as an afterthought. Providing residents, communities with access to light and air are critical components of creating livable density. Ideally, every unit should have direct sunlight, and public spaces such as courtyards, entries, and parks should have fresh air and either indirect or direct sunlight. Incorporating light and air properly into buildings does not need to impact the potential for density. Dense buildings need to relate to the surrounding streets at a human scale. Buildings should address the street with ground floor uses and activities that come right up onto the sidewalk. Large setbacks or landscaping barriers between sidewalks and buildings limits the integration of buildings into surrounding neighborhoods and also the benefits of density. Active ground floor uses, commercial, retail, or community facilities, engage the passerby and link the buildings to the surrounding communities. It's not simply enough to build a building right up to the street edge. The ground floor uses have to engage actively with the street, as these two examples from the region, Clarendon Station on the left and Bethesda on the right. Two qualities help provide a good relationship between streets and buildings. Frequent windows and entries help pedestrians engage with storefronts and ground floor uses and limit the presence of blank walls. A transition between public spaces and private spaces is especially important for high-density residential uses. In the example on the lower right from Portland's Pearl District, an older industrial building has been transformed with live-work units on the ground floor, some as shops, some as residences. A ramp at the end of the platform provides an accessible entrance to the whole level. But there's a clear transition between what's the public realm on the sidewalk and the realm of the walkway, and then the private realm inside the building. High-quality retail spaces depends on higher first floor heights to provide visibility and sunlight to the interior of stores. Low ceiling heights make storefronts feel cramped and uncomfortable. High-quality retail also depends on high-quality pedestrian environments. Again, looking at Bethesda, wide sidewalks, landscaping, and seating all support the kind of pedestrian activity that in turn supports retail in dense areas. Eyes on the street either from upper story uses or active ground floor uses, provide informal surveillance of public spaces that help a community take ownership. Blank walls, inactive uses, such as offices or other uses that are only 9 to 5, contribute to a lack of security and make open spaces feel less usable, especially when they're right on the ground floor. Open spaces require some degree of programming, such as this fountain. And it's most effective when that programming can be determined with the community to create spaces that people value, rather than ones that no one uses. Not correct. Buildings should be built to last. Investing in high-quality materials and finishes, as well as architectural details and craftsmanship, results in buildings that hold their value and are integrated into their surroundings. Poorly built and designed buildings do not bring the same kind of benefits. The type of architectural style is less important in this consideration than the details and the craftsmanship. Many architectural styles contribute to successful places, while poorly built buildings of any style will not be as successful. Good design also encompasses considerations for the accessibility of buildings for all users. Direct, front door, accessible entrances and plazas that accommodate a range of users are important. So too is the accessibility of the surrounding streets and pedestrian routes. Dense neighborhoods should have frequent intersections with pedestrian crossings and short block lanes to encourage accessibility to surrounding areas.